Hey guys, so I want to talk about staying safe in London and while traveling. I'm obviously not an expert in this at all, and just kind of talking about my experiences and tips, I guess. So I do want to start this whole thing by putting a giant caveat out there saying crime happens anywhere and everywhere in the world. So not just in London or places that I've visited or in Europe in general, but everywhere. And also, I think I've just kind of encountered some really bad luck personally. I don't know. Haven't really heard any of my friends kind of going into situations like I did, but anyways. So London seems to be a bit of a hub for a lot of things in Europe, whether it's trade or business or whatever. And in the case that I'm talking about is things like petty theft. So somebody once told me that there was this like big, theft training program that people do, where because London is so close to a lot of the countries in Europe, so teenagers from like I don't know anywhere in Europe, Italy, Spain, Ukraine, anywhere in kind of this whole continent of region can easily take a train or a really cheap flight into London for the day and do their, you know, stealing stuff during the day and then just go home in time for dinner. And someone was telling me there's this, training program that these people do where, professionals teach them how to steal from people and whatnot without being detected. So these people are really well trained, I guess. So, I mean, in my year and a little bit of being here, I've had one, two, three phones stolen. Not like I put them somewhere and lost them, like stolen out of my hand. And it's a really infuriating experience. It's not obviously whatever. Money is money. If you get something stolen, you replace it, and at the end of the day, even if you can't afford it, which I couldn't really at the time, it's still just money. It's not somebody didn't like stab you and then like take all your stuff, but it's really just a really terrible experience because it takes more than just that whatever they stole from you, whether it's your purse or your phone or your wallet or whatever. It's that feeling of security. It's that feeling of confidence of being able to walk around on your own. And it's just that like I don't know. They take away more than just your belongings when that happens. And I was really angry for a very long time, especially because I take a lot of pride in the fact that I do a lot of self-defense training and boxing and things like that. And in the heat of the moment, for me to have not been able to do something to protect myself or my belongings just made me really angry later on. But you have to just kind of learn to, you know, forget about it and move on. Anyway, so that one of the more recent one, I guess, was when I was on the bus coming home. It was like 7 p.m. Not even like really late at night or anything. And it's not like a sketchy bus route, and I don't live in a sketchy area. So it was like the number 17 bus that was, going across London Bridge to where I live in East London. And this is like the second last stop before my stop, and I was getting ready to kind of just, turn down my music and whatever. So I had my phone out like this, and I was, I don't know, texting someone or listening to music. And I was sitting sort of near the back door of the bus. And I guess that was my mistake. I had never really thought about, like, I guess my safety on a bus before. And that's obviously my naiveness, as funny as it is to say that. So I was, playing with my phone, and I was getting ready to leave, actually. And one minute I'm hearing music, next minute I'm not hearing music because this guy that was standing, I guess, like kind of diagonal from me, just as the bus stopped and the back doors opened, he came and grabbed my phone out of my hand. Like, it unplugged my earphones because my earphones were still in my ear, and just ran out of the bus and ran across the bridge. So obviously I noticed what happened, and I was like, what the fuck? Grab all my stuff, and I'm running after him. First of all, the bus didn't stick around and wait or do it. It just kind of kept going. Thanks, TfL. And nobody else did anything. Like, there was tons of people at the bus stop just watching this happen. So I chase after this guy, and he's running across like 4 lanes of traffic across the bridge, and he managed to dodge them all. And I'm chasing after him with like bags of my purses and everything, and I almost got hit by one of the cars. So I was like, this is not worth my life. So I stopped, but I'm screaming at the person and at other people that are on the other side of the bridge. There are people, he's running past these people. So I was like, somebody stop him, he's stolen my phone. Nobody does anything. How can you? It made me so angry. I think because I'm the kind of person that intuitively, if I had seen somebody get mugged or get something stolen and the thief was running in my direction, I would try everything in my power to stop him. But not everyone's like that, I guess. So I had Find My iPhone on that phone. So I went home and I tracked it, called the police and everything, but there was nothing they could do. They did follow up, but it's a long story. They couldn't get the CCTV footage from the bus company because they didn't get back to them on time, and they deleted all the files in 5 days. And London police, thanks for trying. And it's my fault that I didn't have my phone insured. I thought about getting my phone insured when I was home for Christmas, and I was gonna do it the week that I came back, and this happened on the first day that I came back to London. And it was a new phone that I bought it with cash in October when I had 2 of my other phones stolen, pickpocketed out of my purse at a pub. That's a long story. Somebody crawled under my table and unzipped my bag. And anyway, just be really careful with your stuff. And I see a lot of people walking around with their phones like this. You're texting and whatever. You do realize that people can just take your phone and run, which is exactly what happened to me on the bus. And it's really shitty to think that you can't even be safe on a bus sitting there, like with other people sitting there as well. But I think a lot of people, including myself, really, before this happened, you just think that in a public place, like on the street or in a bus, these things wouldn't really happen because you would think these thieves are not that brazen. But yes, it does happen. It happened to me. So please be careful. When I see people doing this on the bus, like especially near the door, I actually go and tell them what happened to me, and I say, be careful with your stuff, especially with your purse sitting beside you, thinking that nobody would dare grab it out of your hand or grab it off your lap, but they would, and they will. So be really careful. And these kids don't care. I told somebody this story, and they were like, "Oh, wasn't there a camera on the bus?" Yeah, so what? What's the camera gonna do? Catch what happened, and then what? The police they're gonna look at the camera footage, then what? They don't know who they are. So even if they use that for the future and kind of recognize that person, I've seen that person in a different, security camera before, what is that gonna do for you when that happened to you at that moment? Nothing. So anyway, be very careful, be very vigilant. And also when I was traveling, so a few of my girlfriends came to visit me in London, and we went to Paris for a few days, took the train there, and then at the train station we got on the subway, and I had a bad feeling because it was really packed. It was a rush hour time, and we were about to get on this one car of the subway train, and these 4 guys were gonna get on the same train with us, and I was feeling just kind of weird about it. So I told my girls, let's just get on this other car. So as the train stopped, we're pulling our suitcase and our handbag onto that car, and didn't actually realize that these guys now came into this car with us. And while we're on the subway train, it was really packed, and we all had our hands on our purses and stuff. But I realized at one point that I felt something in this vicinity area. I thought this guy was trying to touch me or something, so I was going to turn around and punch him in the face. But I realized that even though I had my purse over my shoulder and my hand here, his hand was inside my purse, in the back. He kind of just opened the flap and had his whole hand in my purse. So I noticed this happening, and I grabbed his hand, and I pried his hand, off of whatever he was trying to grab out of my purse. And I was yelling at him. If I knew French, to the point of swearing at someone, I would have sworn at him in French. But yeah, I was so mad, and this guy was looking at me like he wanted to stab me or something. But at that point, I just didn't really care. I was so angry. So I was, telling all my girlfriends to be careful with their stuff, and they held on to their bags like, with dear life. By the time we got out of the train and they realized their stuff was already gone, wallets were already gone out of the purse. So this must have happened when we were trying to get onto the train and it was so packed and we're kind of just being pushed around trying to pull our bags. That's when they must have taken the wallets out of my friend's bags. So you have to just be really, really careful. And one of the girls, she was saying she had her bag kind of here, and one of the four guys that targeted us, obviously from the beginning, as the subway doors were opening, he reached in her bag, grabbed her purse, and ran out. And just out of being so shocked, she couldn't do anything. And it's, like I mentioned, it's not just your belonging that kind of gets taken from you. It's your sense of self-confidence and security. And people always say be careful with your stuff in Europe, and it's really true. Not that these things don't happen anywhere else, but personally I've lived in Toronto for 14, 15 years and have never had something stolen out of my hand, or been pickpocketed before. But I think it's some of it's people's mindset when they're on vacation or a holiday, and just kind of feeling very at ease, I guess, in a way. But I think some of it is just the fact that Europe is just a hub for these petty thefts, petty crimes, and especially London, Paris. I heard Barcelona is actually the world's #1 city for pickpocketing. Didn't get pickpocketed in Barcelona, but it's funny because now my friends and I joke about it whenever we finish a trip on our way back. It's like, oh, thank God, didn't have anything stolen. um, yeah, it's nothing to laugh about, and it's really shitty that these things happen. But just be really careful, and don't think that just having your hand on your bag is enough, because people will sneak in to your bag in a different kind of way. And don't think that, having your purse in your lap or having your purse under your chair, between your feet, touching it with your feet, which is what I had, don't think that's going to deter anybody. They'll just crawl under your table and take your stuff when you're not looking. So, yeah, I'm not saying be paranoid, but definitely a big city like London, big city like New York, or anywhere where these very clever professional people operate, just be extra, extra, extra careful and look after your stuff. Your #1 prized possession when you're traveling, obviously, is your passport. So don't be dumb and have your passport in like the outside pocket of your backpack when you're wearing it. Be very careful. And as unfashionable as fanny packs are, or as the Brits call it, they call it like bum pocket or something. I wouldn't say don't wear those, because I think it'd be really useful to have something like that underneath your clothes, and especially in front of you, so that, if somebody were to try to get to it, they would have to like lift up your shirt, and you might notice that more than if it was in your bag. So yeah, that's kind of all I had to say. And also, when you're walking around, obviously this goes for anywhere, and you're walking kind of through a place where you're alone or it's a little bit darker, even if you have your earphones on, turn off your music just for that duration, and just be aware of your surroundings, because people will jump out of the trees and try to steal things off your shoulder, as it happened to me a few times, or try other things with you if you're a girl walking by yourself, or even just with a friend, because they'll try to come and attack the both of you, which is what happened to me here as well. So yeah, be careful, be vigilant, and always be aware of your surroundings. That's it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.